ho, 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 ho.
Oh, oh, oh.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to She Said, He Said. Our show talks about love and romance and whatever else we feel like talking about. And we want to definitely wish everybody super holidays and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Everybody's pretty Christmassy, except me, maybe. But before we get going, I do need to remind you, you can find us on Spreaker, and you can find us on Good Talk Radio. And now we are movie stars on Cutting Edge TV. We are streaming live as we speak on Cutting Edge TV on Roku. And nice. All that information I just muddled out there is also in the description below. So if you want to find out where your favorite platform is and best time you want to watch the show, it's there. And you guys, yes, you guys are on video on demand, which means you could binge watch us all day long.
Hey, a lot of people saying hi there in the chat room, Rob.
I'm seeing it.
Yes, everybody. And Heather Claire Lander is out in the UK.
Eric's here today, and Ryan, and we got Thomas Hamilton from Scotland, Heather Lander, and
I love Scotland.
You guys,
the UK.
Hop on there. Well, Merry Christmas to all you guys. So, welcome to the show. Flynn will probably be popping in pretty soon. She's probably in the bathtub.
Ew.
Always.
Can we see shots of that or what? Do we have to
I don't think that is Roku approved.
I mean, well, as long as there's bubbles, there's lots of bubbles.
That's true. But Tracy might pop in today too. But, you know, guys, we're really close to the holidays. For those we'll see this show later, it's the 23rd. So it's we were kind of, should we have a show or not? But it's like everybody says, well, what the heck? We're all stuck at home, right?
Yeah, exactly right. I feel bad for the folks over in the UK. Those guys are really stuck in the house.
Yeah, they are big time. Oh, my gosh.
Thomas was asking how your brother's doing. George?
George. Did I say either Eric? I don't know.
I didn't see Eric too, but George was wondering, how are you doing? Oh, how are you doing, brother?
You gotta read through the thing there, Rob.
I know. I
gotta read through it.
I'm actually on the top of the list, but I would drop down the bottom because Thomas is checking on your brother. Never mind.
No, hello, George. How are you doing, brother? He's saying brother to me because I said brother to him.
Got it. Yes. And
I love you, Rob. You're awesome. Love you, Rob.
I gotta quit drinking vodka before the show.
No, that's good. Just keep drinking your vodka. It's good.
Yeah. Actually, it's just water. But before we get going here, this is our holiday show.
Yeah, we are celebrating. It is the time.
Merry Christmas.
So I gotta talk to the panel a little bit about. As soon as there it is.
There you go, Jace.
So, Jace is looking cute.
I'm feeling festive today.
You do. He's Blinky. Hey, Blinky.
Hey,
someday Jace will come out of the closet.
I work in here. I've been here all day.
We got someone from the UK, Heather.
Yes, Heather Claire Lander.
Heather.
Heather is actually a viewer of the morning show and has stuck around and watched and supported everything that I do and Eric does, and every place that she can find me, she joins and says hello. And
awesome.
Thank you,
Ryan,
Heather.
the mod god, is also somewhere in the UK. I don't know exactly where, but he's out there in the UK as well.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
And the other thing with our Roku. We are available to them in those countries, so you can find Cutting Edge TV in those different countries. And if all of our shows are on our video on demand, so
got to give them kudos too, Rob. I mean, it's 2 a.m. there in the UK.
I know. That's
now.
why I kind of worry. It's like kind of late for them.
Up.
Yeah.
So if we get a little too late for you and stuff, don't forget we got Roku over there for you guys. So this is the holidays. Believe it or not. Doesn't feel like it much over here. I was telling her George earlier, we don't have anything, not one Christmas thing up over here, which is really sad. I think it's because we don't have kids. We don't have any camp fam. Jay Lynn won't even come over. It's terrible.
Hey, I was there for Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And the only
you're probably gonna get visited by those three spirits. You're gonna get the 3 spirit visit there, Rob.
Yeah, vodka, gin, and rum.
That's right. The only Christmas gifts I get on here is my chickens are finally laying eggs, so I get presents every day. So that's kind of cool. So before we get going now, and I'm hoping that Flynn pops in here pretty soon, but I want to kind of ask. I'm going to start with John. We're kind of talking about this earlier. What are some of the old and maybe current Christmas traditions that you do for Christmas or for the holidays?
Yeah, so every year on Christmas Eve, we go to a Christmas Eve service for church, and nice. we typically at the church that I belong to now, we do a candlelit service, so it's real nice. And this year we're going to have a band. And so we're going to be doing a lot of Christmas singing, Christmas music, and over candlelight. And then after that, we go directly to a Chinese restaurant. And we always eat Chinese food on Christmas Eve. We've been doing that since my wife and I have been married. So this will be the 22 years.
Awesome.
Wow.
In a row. And after Chinese food, we kind of take our time, and then we'll come back and we hop in our ATV and we drive around the neighborhood and look at all the Christmas lights. That's, cool. I've got Christmas lights wrapped up around the ATV. So it's kind of, it's Christmassy. And then we come back and put the Christmas music on, have a couple adult beverages, and, sit by the fire. And
you think in 30 minutes you're hungry again.
That's right. Does COVID kind of slow down your traditions at all?
I'm not letting COVID control my life. As long as I live here in Arizona and they're letting places stay open, I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm not going to let it, I'm not one of those people that gives into the fear and the pressure. I'm just going to live my life and let destiny take care of whatever it has to take care of.
Gotcha. One more question. Do you do anything special on New Year's Eve?
Well, this year I will be participating in the Good Talk Radio Rock and Ranger Rob Christmas Eve Bash, whatever we're calling it.
Yeah.
So I, typically we just, my kids are always out, they're grown up, so they're going to be going out. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe they're going to a party or whatever. So it's typically my wife and I, and normally I would say we are both sacked out. We watch the ball drop in New York City, East Coast time, which is 9:00, or what, maybe 10 o'clock.
And there we're usually in bed by 9:30.
That's it. After the ball drops in New York City, we're out. And,
I have to laugh. The reason I asked you that question is when I was younger, when I was my mom was around, she always made us eat sauerkraut on New Year's Eve for good luck.
New Year's Day. That should be New Year's Day. Pork and sauerkraut.
I think it was New Year's Day, I think it was.
Yeah, that is a tradition.
A long time ago. I can't seem to talk Sherry into that tradition, but
all you got to do is throw it in the crock pot and let it cook for about 8 hours, and it is amazing. And then serve that over fresh mashed potatoes.
Ooh, I've never tried that
good.
before.
Yeah.
So I'm going to skip over to Jay Lynn, and I know she's got some past traditions you guys used to do, and what are some of the current ones you're doing for traditions with your family? Because most of my nieces and nephews are up in Washington State with Jay Lynn.
So, this year we're really not doing much of anything because the families are not getting together. I'll be having Christmas dinner with my daughter and her family, but other than that. But some of our Christmas traditions from when our kids were young is it used to be every Christmas Eve. Now we have to work it around all the different family schedules, but Christmas Eve-ish, we have our big family dinner, and the kids always get a visit from Santa Claus that day. And so we get the kids all lined up, looking out the windows, looking for Santa Claus, hearing his jingle bells and everything. And every year he shows up, and he has to have each of the kids individually sit on his lap and tell him what he wants. And all the adults have to sit on Santa's lap also. And Santa has something on everybody, so he's sure to tell all the nasty little stories about everybody, Rob. But it's always been a lot of fun. We've kept that tradition going on
many years.
Yeah, for many, many years. When our kids were young, Rob used to hire a Santa. Once our kids got a little bit older, then Rob was the Santa until he outgrew the Santa suit.
I must be the only one that cannot fit in a Santa suit.
So Rob outgrew the Santa suit. So now we've got a new designated Santa. So it's been a lot of fun. The kids love it. And we've got some really, really cool pictures of all the kids lined up looking out the window trying to see Santa in the sky. So it's lots of fun. It's all about the kids.
Yes, it is.
How about you, George? What kind of traditions you guys have and or have had or doing something different this year?
Well, we always had this tradition of actually having a very wonderful dinner, and it didn't necessarily have to be right at Christmas Eve, but we have this place. It's called East Ridge, and it's over here in El Paso, and it has the most amazing lights because they do it every year, and it's almost like a competition. So within I'd say probably a good 6 or 7 block radius of how homes that actually decorate their with just beautiful lights. We went and saw them last night. Fantastic set of display of lights, and so I'm really into the lights. So that was always a tradition of ours. My father, before he passed, and both my mom and dad, they pile us all up in the car, and we go look at lights at East Ridge. And to this day, and this was years and years ago, 40 plus years, they've been doing it.
Do they do the luminary?
Yes, they do every single thing you can possibly think of. I think the version this year was more towards LED lights because they had a lot of LEDs, and it just gave me all kinds of ideas of what I'm going to do next year to my house.
Is it called the luminary? Is that the one where they
luminarius? Yeah, luminarius.
Yeah, that's it. Luminarius. Yeah,
and they are amazing. We love them. So it's just like it was one thing that we enjoyed doing so much because it was just so beautiful, and a lot of them were more traditional, and then some of them are more like, Mickey Mouse. And then, of course, you have all different types, and it goes through. You could be there for hours. We spent a couple hours last night just driving around looking at the lights. It was great.
That's awesome.
So that's one of the traditions I remember so fondly. And then I'm going to carry this for the rest of my life. Every year, I'm going to go visit those lights.
Cool. So, Jace, you got Rugrats at home still?
Yes.
How's Christmas? What's the program down there?
Generally we do Christmas on Christmas Eve. And that's because Stephanie, my wife, has worked retail. So she either has to go in Christmas night or she will work late, Christmas Eve night into the next morning. So we'll do Christmas on Christmas Eve and then either swap with the families and say, okay, so we're going to go to your family at this time and then my family at this time. But we just moved to Florida about 3 years ago. And this is, hey, Lane, how you doing? This is our first real independent, we're not living in somebody else's home or a family member's home while we're getting adjusted. So I think we may try to find something that way. It's a little different when people are decorating palm trees. You can't really go sleighing. You have to go standing, things like that.
Yeah.
So we're going to see if we can find something to maybe start building a tradition. From what I hear, St. Augustine has some really beautiful light displays. But we've only been to St. Augustine once in the 3 years that we live here. We're not that far away. So we may take a look at it, keeping in mind that I do have to work Christmas night. So.
Wow.
Heather Claire Lander says before COVID, she would go to a German market that they had in the city that she lived in, and she would watch Santa fly by.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
Yeah. My traditions were a lot like Jaylen's because our families obviously intermingle. But the funny thing is, there's two little things about the family things we used to do with the little ones when they're little. Is to this day, nobody knows who that Santa Claus was for the kids back then, and I never told
the original
anybody.
Santa Claus. We didn't know.
Yep. And he volunteered, by the way, every time. We always gave him donations and stuff. And he lived actually pretty far away, and he came to our house every Christmas for many years. And so that was kind of interesting. The other thing is all those Christmases I did videotapes of. So I've got this big library. And of course, I have nothing to play them on anymore.
No, VCR.
And it's funny, it's kind of like, you know how you record all your kids' like programs they do at school? Well, 20 years later, when you play them back, you kind of go, oh man, this is long.
They don't have projectors anymore, do they? No projectors anymore, do they?
Yeah, they have digital ones.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the old ones that just roll.
No, they're not Super
like
8
8mm.
video. Come on.
Yes.
His was all VHS.
But I got boxes of VHS stuff, of family stuff like that. It's like, even to transfer them into something up to date is like, it's a lot of hours of editing.
Work.
So one of these days, I got to get it all transferred and passed out to the family so they can put it in their archives and never watch them.
That's exactly what happened.
Great.
So, I actually got kind of a note off to the side here. You can't see it, John, but I'm going to ask you about. I know we don't talk that serious all the time, but there was a report about some issues with the vaccine stuff on the CDC. Was that actually on the CDC website?
The article that I had was an article that was talking about information on the CDC.
Okay, because I got a note here saying I'm full of crap. And I said, well, it's on the CDC website. I don't know why he's telling me I was full of crap. Anyway, guys, if you ever get a chance, I made a video today, and so did John, about some interesting information about that shot thing that's out there. So,
I'm living proof. If anybody wants any kind of information, I've had my illness for 22 years, and I had a vaccination.
I think that's actually a good thing to talk about. Let's talk about that for a minute, and I'm going to get more into our holiday stuff.
Of course, but, nothing George like talking about a vaccination on a holiday holiday week.
But it is important. The reason is George is a good example of why I'd like to mention it. Is George, when you were in 1997.
96.
96. You took a vaccination.
Yes.
Of some sort. What happened to you?
I ended up getting what's called Gimbre Syndrome. It's actually the chronic version, which, the acronym of it is CIDP, which is chronic inflammatory demyelinating polyneuropathy.
Wow.
And it's a debilitating type of muscle disorder, or it's an autonomic type thing. And it actually affects your nerve endings, which eventually will render you paralyzed.
Wow.
So this happened through a vaccination, and there's been lots and lots and lots of rhetoric saying this, that, and the other, but ultimately it's happened. Back in 1970s, roughly in the 1976 timeframe, somewhere around there, when the swine flu was actually being introduced, the swine flu vaccination, people were dropping to this unknown thing that's going on, and it ended up being Gimbre Syndrome, which is the same thing as the CIDP, only it's a little more aggressive.
Wow.
All through vaccinations.
And of course, you don't have the best of health now of other things too. And yet we're all kind of getting to this new point of we may have to take something else. And it's kind of interesting where you're somebody susceptible. If you were to get this new CV stuff that's going out, you could have a bad reaction to it.
Yeah, I've been told not to get the vaccination.
But you're still hesitant against that, and I could see why. And we all talked about it earlier. We all agree that if you have something, diabetes, some things that could be serious, I would seriously think about taking the shot. But if not, then your percentage is pretty good if you don't get it. So it's an interesting subject that I want to go too heavy in this. Right. I have other platforms that are better for it, but you're living proof of why we want to be careful.
Absolutely. Yeah. You just got to be careful about what you do, how you go about it. If you do have an underlying condition, it's just, you have to make that call. You can get in a very bad situation with a vaccination if you're healthy. If you're healthy, I was perfectly healthy.
Yeah, that's what John was mentioning. He goes, could you imagine that happening to you when you were perfectly healthy in the first place?
It is the scariest thing I've ever been through with the first bout. I was absolutely horrifying, I have to say.
I brought up the actual CDC information. I don't know if you can share it on the screen.
Well, he's not watching this show. It came from a note from my YouTube show I did today. So maybe after the show, can you send me a link to that and I'll give it to him?
Yeah, just in case our viewers, like someone had mentioned, it's kind of scary. So I didn't know, just to show that you're not crazy, but I just wanted to. So I wanted to put it up.
So Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll switch back here. I do want to talk about on relationships and things like that. When it's the holidays, what are some of, in the past or currently, what are some of the dramas that you've had to deal with in the holiday seasons? It may not be Christmas.
Money.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, for us, it kind of starts in July. July is both of our kids' birthdays.
Oh boy!
It's mid-year, everything's happening, and then September the kids are going back to school, and then August, they're still getting school supplies together. September, it kind of still. Okay, so what do you need? Do you need school uniforms still? Do you need the tissues for school and hand sanitizer?
Oh my gosh, Jace.
You ripped a book bag and a pair of pants. Now I got to go out and buy some of that. Then my birthday, our wedding, and then Christmas. And then her birthday's in February. I hate all of this. It's
just so expensive.
I have just got to start putting people at like January and like, I don't know, July. After that, don't bother me for nothing. But starting in like June or July, money just really starts to get tight. So it's like, can we just get this over with? I just want this to be done. Like, Merry Christmas. I got you something. I thought about you. Please, it means a lot for me to give this to you. I need to put the pedal to the metal right this moment and kind of get Christmas over with.
Yeah,
that's really it.
I'm so glad I don't have little ones anymore, but I have grandkids, and just to do grandkids, I'm going, wow, because we only have to worry about one thing. But boy, parents nowadays, kids will everything they want seems to have cost more than $100 a piece.
No doubt, man. Wow, with the good old days where grandma would just throw $3 in a card and give it to you.
Hell yeah.
How many years did we get Christmas cards from our grandmas with a $5 bill?
Oh my gosh! I don't think it was ever over $3.
Yep.
Because they had a lot of grandkids. We'd get $3 or $4, and that was it. $3. That was it.
I like
or
Heather's
$1 that equates to whatever year old that you are.
Yeah, that's right.
That stopped at like 10.
No, right? Yeah, we can't afford you after 10 years old.
10. Go get a job. Merry Christmas. I want to give this year.
I like Heather's response. She said what causes her a little bit of stress is going to the in-laws' house.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh, good one. Yeah. We want to hear from the listeners. By the way, if any of these questions I bring up, if you got a story for us, let us know. But we're talking about dramas.
And by the way, drama occurs on every holiday, especially nowadays when there's more like broken homes. Is that the best way to put it? Or divided homes? Blended homes. There you go. Mm-hmm. And I mean, you've got your kids that now that my kids are older, they're going 10 different places. And so what we did, we said, listen, you guys have no pressure to be here on Thanksgiving or Christmas, but there's a weekend, bam, right in the middle. We call that Thanksmas, and we expect you to be here. And that's what we do. So that way we take all the pressure off everybody else. They can go wherever they want to go. It's just Thanksmas, you're here, and we're going to have a big ham, and we're going to have dinner, and we're going to give, exchange gifts and do all that type of stuff.
Now,
and it's a fabulous time.
Now, John, can I ask you? You said your kids are older. Are you expecting grandkids anytime soon?
We actually have my little grand boys here now.
Okay, so do you feel that when your grandchild becomes older, maybe if your family moves away from home or further away from home, that you would say, hey, okay, so I want at least one major holiday. I want either Christmas or Thanksgiving. You're going to still stick with Thanksmas?
We're going to stick with Thanksmas because it just takes all the pressure off of everybody.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
With our family, we've never called it that, but I love that idea. But that's typically what we do is usually a couple weeks before Christmas, which ends up being right in between the two, is when we have our big family gathering for everybody.
That's the way we do it. That's the way me and my sisters do it. Yep.
Yeah, we've done that for years.
That way it clears the way for all the other family stuff and all that.
Yep.
Right. And it's I mean, I don't think we ever had an attendance issue when we did it that way.
Listen, I'm turning the big 5-0. I'm turning 50 next year.
Welcome to the club.
Baby.
50 years
At
old.
this point in my life, I want to make my life as drama-free as possible.
So skydiving is out of the question.
Well, I don't know. I might skydive. I don't know.
I've done it. I've been there, done it. I've done it. It was awesome.
5-0.
Awesome.
5-0. That's like a half a century. Oh my God.
It is a half a century. And, this is the age where you start throwing your back out, getting in the shower and that type of stuff.
Great. Oh, yeah.
Or
you go to sleeping. Yeah, you turn the alarm clock off.
Man, so it starts at 35. It starts falling apart.
But 50, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're so old.
Telling you.
70-year-old.
Right?
Listen, they make vitamins for people like me now. It says right on the bottle for 50 and over. Yeah.
And here comes AARP too, brother.
I know. I'll be getting the cheap coffee at McDonald's.
Oh,
the
yeah,
free refills.
Well, that's not till 55, I think.
I've still never signed up for AARP.
Well, they found me. We see stuff all the time, but I just teased
I
John.
get stuff, but I've never signed up.
Jace is going, you guys are really old.
No, I'm going, you guys suck. I'm 32.
Wow. I
You're
remember
younger
those
than
days.
my youngest kid.
My son's older than you. Yep.
Oh my gosh, he is actually younger than my two kids too. Wow.
Yeah.
But I have only given John a hard time because I just turned 60 2 days ago.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I just turned 57 a few days ago too.
Yeah, well, I got a 6 now in front of my 6.
I'm sorry to hear that, Rob. I mean, that's the way it goes.
A doctor or
I got to tell you though,
the oldest on the show.
Yeah, well, we weren't going to go there,
say-
Jalen, but
You would say the wisest.
I was even being nice.
You know what? 61 and proud of it, right?
and you look damn good. You don't look like you're 61. There's no way.
Yeah. First of all,
You look good. You look
you're
good.
you're more seasoned and you're wiser.
That's right.
That's it.
It's just
That's
like a piece of meat, when it's nicely tenderized.
That's right. Darn right.
My age has never bothered me. But when my youngest turned 40, that bothered me.
Yeah, 50 was my bothersome number. 60 hasn't bothered me that much. Mr.
Thomas
Hamilton.
Hamilton. Yeah, he's coming up on 50.
Yeah. Welcome
Go
to the world of 50.
Way to go, Thomas.
Yeah, welcome to the party,
Big
Thomas.
5-0.
Oh man. So drama. Any other interesting drama stories?
I avoid it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jace.
No, I was just saying I like John's idea. I'm going to start looking into Thanksmas too, because
that's what we do. We do Thanksmas.
And that might once all this traveling issues clear up, that might be a really good idea to have her family from Delaware come down here, and in the same trip they can see their in-laws or her mom or her dad or whatever, spend some time here, and then plus in a lot of situations, a lot of people can't get time off work for the holidays.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's
So,
the biggest
you
and
don't have-
hardest thing.
You don't have to worry about getting time off. You can just say, hey, I'll take the weekend off before, and I'll be happy the week of, or whatever, work the week of. So, you can always grab your vacation then, and then have family go or go see family or do whatever that way.
Heather, she
Yeah.
said she's 48 going on 21. Good for
That's
you,
right.
Heather.
Wow, outstanding.
Yeah.
I did that a couple of times so far.
So what would you identify as some of the biggest holiday stresses? Besides, money's a big one.
Yeah.
I
Sure.
agree with that.
Mm.
What's
Having
some of the biggest?
having to
stresses?
find gifts, go shopping. Oh my gosh.
You know,
What a
lot of-
hassle.
What to get people because nobody knows what they want anymore.
No, exactly.
Yes.
Nothing. I mean, especially as people get a little older, it's kind of like, gosh, what do I get him, man? He has everything.
You can
Yeah.
always send
tell
me
you guys.
microphones and headsets.
There you go.
That's it,
I'll
man.
take that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Actually,
I gotta tell you guys what I got from my wife this year, and I got yelled at for it. Not by my
Did
wife.
you
but by-
really?
No, I got yelled at by my friends for it.
Oh, come on. Really?
Yeah, so they
That's
said that
damn
I
practical.
cheaped out on Christmas, and I said, "Well, what do you mean?" Now you
brutal.
have to understand is that my wife and I, we don't do big gifts for each other for Christmas. We just don't. We get
Mhm.
each other gifts all year round. So we'll get each other something practical or something more useful for Christmas or something to kind of complete whatever the big gift was. This year, she got me a $1,000 desktop computer and an iPhone 12.
That does not suck.
No, she got a new car and an iPhone 12.
Doesn't suck even worse.
Yeah,
So I got to show you.
I want to get in
and-
his list.
I got to see if I can show you this, if it'll let me do it. Goodness, where is it? Here it is, right here. So this is what I got my wife this year. Okay, and it doesn't seem like much.
Hold
It's
on,
just
I gotta add it.
I thought I just did.
You got to do it on this side too.
Oh, I got to.
I see it on my screen.
I see
Yeah,
it
I
on my
see it.
screen.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I got her a Lindor chocolate set, a little game that she can play,
Nice.
some sleeping stuff, the
Some
girly
deer
essen-
phones, man. That's the way to go.
I got
I
her
don't-
some of the girly
What's-
essentials. So I
what's
got her.
the-
What?
Fuzzy handcuffs in the corner.
Yes, yes, Harsh. I'm going to get there, sir. I got her, some a nice new hairbrush, some hair ties. I got her a This is the Lindor. This is the Godiva chocolate set up here in the top left-hand corner.
Nice.
I got her a nice
What
comfortable
is
blanket.
that?
And then over in this corner is one of my
Ooh.
favorite things I'm looking forward to using.
Those are your stones. Oh yeah.
Stone
Oh,
massage kit.
what's
And
the
I got her
battery
some
for?
slippers. Yeah, the batteries. I got her a tripod for her phone so she can watch TV or watch her shows outside on her phone when she's out there, having her morning cup of coffee. And then she says, how am I supposed to use this hot stone massage if it's a Christmas gift? Like, you're going to have to use it with me. And I went, and you'll be naked. Merry Christmas to me.
Yeah, man. That's a plus.
That's that. And then my friends go, you cheaped out on Christmas. No, I didn't.
No way. No,
I
you
got
know,
a thinker.
you know exactly what you were doing.
I was using my thinker, man.
Oh yeah.
I didn't get my wife a car, but I got her a pellet stove.
You got her kidney stone. What?
No, a pellet
Pellets.
stove for the house.
Kidney stuff.
Kidney stone. Yeah.
Yeah,
Merry
hilarious.
Christmas. And here's your kidney stone.
There you go.
Hey, the only
Yeah.
people that think kidney stones are funny are the people that never had one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, for
Oh
sure.
yeah. Oh
No fun.
yeah.
So what other kind of stresses can you think of? We got money, getting gifts,
Time.
going to the
Quality
store.
time
Can
kind
you-
of disappears when you're doing Christmas stuff and family stuff. I would love to just sit on the couch, hold my wife's hand, and watch a nice movie.
Yeah.
Can't
Yeah.
really do that when you got to wrap gifts and you got kids coming in and out of the room and you got to keep them out and got to keep the dog away from the gifts, and quality time really does go out the door. At least for that month. Again, you're stressing about the money, you're stressing about getting off work. You got Thanksmas that's coming and going. I'm
Yeah.
just
And
going to
you
say
got-
that from now on,
and-
John. Thank you
and
for that.
bad weather to go with it.
So quality time really does go out the window. And it sucks.
It doesn't seem like it should, but it does.
I think this year, one of the biggest stresses for me is hoping that 2021 isn't worse than 2020.
Yeah, boy.
Totally
I tell you
agree.
what, man, if it is.
We need a Flynn clap for that.
Man, it's the second coming of Christ if
I'm telling you.
2021 is worse.
You know, if we're in the tribulation now, it's only going to get worse. You know
I've
what I
already
mean?
stocked
So-
up for an apocalypse, so I've got enough food to feed 2 apocalypse.
Heather Landry says she's going to be on her own for Christmas, and she's stressing because of that.
Yeah.
Oh, don't stress, Heatherland. If you ever need to talk, we're here, man. You can always talk to us.
You can
Georgie's
always
number.
just say what's happening.
I'll give you Georgie's number later.
Now, Heather, if you're going to be alone, Heather, on New Year's Eve, we're going to be having
hit us up, man.
Rob.
We're going to have our show.
We're going to be rocking it out with Ranger Rob right
here. And Heather, make sure your webcam works if you want to. We're going to allow people to come into the show.
Sweet.
Would love to see you.
Yep. So we'll be putting the little link right in the description, and people can click on it. And we can only handle 10 at a time, but you can pop in, say hi, be a movie star, be on TV, the whole works.
I'll be doing stand-up comedy.
I'll be doing
stand-up comedy.
I'll be wearing half a tuxedo.
It would be really cool to get some people from UK and Scotland to pop on. That would be so cool.
I'll be wearing a suit.
That's what I'm doing.
You
I'm
are?
going to be in a tuxedo.
Oh
boy!
Wow!
I said I'm only wearing half a tuxedo.
That's right.
This is why we only have our screens on our heads, right?
That's right. Exactly right.
So, is anybody doing something totally different than they normally have ever done for the holidays?
Oh yeah.
Right now, I'm not wearing pants.
Hey,
wearing pants.
There you go, man.
How would you know?
I have a serious question. Serious question here, and this is not even to be funny or make a joke. Do you find that the holidays get harder as you get older, or do you find that, like John, you found a way to be completely stress-free through this whole thing, and found an even? Or again, I'm in my 30s. I've been married almost 10 years. Right now, it's still very stressful. But John and Rob, and I think Miss Jalen have no more children anymore, since they're all grown up. So does that help alleviate some of the stress, or does trying to coordinate holidays create more stress than what it was before when they were still home?
That's a good question. To me, I think it's more relaxing now. But actually, in some cases, because our families, our daughters and sons are so busy with their families, there's also the opposite of loneliness, because it's too damn quiet.
And that's kind of how it is for me right now. I mean, for years and years, because we do basically the thanks must. Thank you for that. We've been doing that for many, many years. And so then my kids, they spend usually the rest of their holidays with the other side of the family. So Christmas Day, we're there with the other side of the family. Thanksgiving, we're there with the other side of the family. So usually on the actual holidays themselves, I'm home alone. But I've gotten to the point to where I will make myself a full Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner, the full turkey and gravy and stuffing and everything just for me. So
I may see Sarah Lee on the top, and you have to take it out of tinfoil, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. It's quieter. It's an interesting question, Jace. Actually, it's. I think also I reminisce a lot. I think back on all the things we did, and it makes me smile. And with the right attitude, it doesn't make me sad. It makes me grateful for all those great things we did do with our kids, and now they're doing it with their kids, and that's a good feeling. But I do see. Luckily, I got Sherry by my side, but it'll be a really quiet Christmas for us. We are going to have Sherry's mom over for a short time, but she really just comes in. She kind of lasts about 3 hours, and she's tired and wants to go home. And so we don't want company for that because it's too tiresome for her. But it's her time. I mean, we got to get her out of that assisted living, if you know how that goes.
Oh yeah.
And, anything we can do to give her a break, and we may not even be able to do that if this they have a lockdown.
Allowed.
Yeah. So we'll cross our fingers. We can at least get her out of there for a couple of hours, And with my dogs running around and a couple of phone calls, that tires her out. So
yeah,
and it's
it's
kind of
funny.
stressful for us. So it's almost like we're almost ready to be alone again after that. So
we're at an age now where our friends that are same age, their kids are grown up too.
yeah.
And it's kind of nice because everybody's kind of in the same boat. So this year we're actually going to do something different. We're actually, and this was requested by some friends of ours at church, we're just going to get together, and there's 6 of us. We're just going to get together and Christmas Eve after we're going to go out for Chinese food and all that type of stuff. And then we're going to come back to our house here and just play cards or just chit chat, have some adult beverages without the noise and the constant having to the entertain. You don't have to entertain but yourselves. And so we're kind of looking forward to it. I'll be honest with you. I'm there's nothing against having kids, little kids and stuff like that. I love my little kids, but it's just a different stage in life now. And I think that's perfectly okay. It's not selfish, it's just, it's enjoying.
It's kind of like we put in our time.
It's
you
adult
get experience. We put in our time, just like you guys are saying. It's a point to where you start to relax more, Jace. It's I'm 57. I mean, I don't feel 57, but it's a point where you start to slowly start to see your kids grow up, and you don't have to deal with them as much. Not that that's a bad thing, because you're gonna love them the rest of their lives. It's just that it just seems to taper off. As far as the hustle and bustle of Christmas and all the holidays, you seem to relax more. Let's just say,
you're almost forced to relax. But if you have the right mindset, it's actually very comforting. Actually, I want to tell you something I did kind of different for my grandkids this year. So you guys know I'm in the prepping, and I'm also kind of concerned about our finances as far as money crashing and resets and stuff. So I buy a lot of silver. I can't afford a lot of gold. And so I buy $200-$300 of silver every month. I call that fixed assets. Just think about, you take an ounce of silver and you go to Russia with that. Is it worth anything?
Yeah,
I would think
if I go to China and I show them an ounce of silver, is it worth anything?
Yeah,
sure.
If I go to Mexico and I take silver and I use it there, is it worth anything?
It's worldwide there, brother.
Yeah. So if I take American dollar, and go to those same places, would it be worth this very much?
It's not.
So that's my point. So what I thought we'd start doing, I was just going to do it with the older one, and Sherry goes, no, let's do it with all 3 of our main grandkids. So they're all getting their first 1 ounce silver coin for Christmas, and hopefully they'll hold on to them. And so we're going to make that a new tradition for the grandkids to get an ounce of silver. And because they're entering that age, like one's like 11 or 12. I can't remember ages anymore, but it's like a little hint of grown-upness to it, but a little hint of, wow, that's cool. It's a silver dollar. That's an ounce.
I really hope one puts it in their mouth to bite it and pretends that they're a pirate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all my grandkids are going, thank you, Grandpa. Arr. But anyway,
do they still know about pirates?
So that's one of my notes on here is anybody doing something different that they've never done before? That's our new thing. We've never done that for the kids before. And
I don't know if we're doing anything different. Like I said, we're still in the middle of this culture shock, and that no, this isn't COVID related. This is the moving to Florida related.
You don't know anybody,
right? We have her family, we have her grandfather and her uncle, and they live about 20 minutes away. Other than that, this year we haven't really got to interact with coworkers outside of work. We haven't really gotten to, make friends except the people that I see on a screen all day.
Yeah.
Rob, I've been spending, the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks with you, and I'm grateful for that, but I'm not asking you to come over for Christmas. Yes, I have your phone number, and you're probably going to get a Merry Christmas text from me. I hope you like it, because that's all I got you.
Of course I love it.
But, because of what we're going through this year and everything, we haven't had time to make new friends.
Right.
And it's almost like you are scared to make new friends because, God, I hate saying this is going to hurt, but you don't know who might be around tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's something that I just experienced. I lost a friend
I had
2 or 3 days ago due to COVID. I mean, she was fine. She came back from a trip because her mom had passed away due to cancer. Caught COVID in Virginia, came home, and 6 days later she was dead.
Right.
Oh my!
I had a family member pass away in April. I had a friend of mine passed away in October, and I almost lost another friend. I'm like, God, like, this year just sucks, man.
Yeah, it does. It is.
And it really does make you think who
gained another 5 here.
I did, yeah, absolutely. And I'm grateful for every one of you guys, and thank you for that. It's just, you really have to evaluate. Okay, where do I put my time? Right now, I just want to stick with my friends, like the friends I have online, or the friends that I have. I Heather Lander and Ryan the Mod God and Lane and Lachlan and all my friends that are in the UK and South Africa and everywhere, and in Australia. I spend a lot of time with them on Discord and other chatting apps where we just kind of sit there and talk. And it really sounds dumb, but this is some of the greatest quality conversations that I can't have at work right now.
Yeah.
So I'm so grateful for that. And God willing, they continue to prosper and have a great life and whatever, because I'm not sure I can take another loss this year. It has sucked so bad.
Yeah, I know. I feel your pain there, brother.
Well, I have a curious question for you guys. And this, Jace, you might get a kick out of this. Does weather in your region hurt or add on to the holiday season? Like, for example, you're in Florida now, and John's in Phoenix, which I just came from Phoenix, and then George, I'm not really sure what your weather's like there in El Paso.
It's great.
I know what Jay Lynn's is, and I definitely know what mine is. I just bought a pellet stove. So do you think that hampers or enhances or anything to the holiday feelings?
It definitely, for me, again, it just makes it feel weird. It just feels different.
Really?
You guys decorate
cold weather, right?
Well, you guys, I'm from cold weather, so it doesn't bother me. I'm out there in a t-shirt and shorts because I think it's funny. I think it's funny to watch the steam rise off my body. I don't know why. But you guys decorate cactuses. We decorate palm trees. So it's just
right.
It's a weird exchange, Yeah. But I don't have to worry.
Pine tree.
Yeah, pine tree.
The pine trees are the only way to go.
I don't have to worry about my pipes freezing, kind of thing.
That's for sure.
I don't have to worry.
How about you, John? How do you feel about Christmas up down there in Phoenix? I my first year I was concerned about it, but I still felt Christmassy even in Phoenix.
I gotta tell you, Rob, this year especially, I really feel the Christmas spirit here. Now, it took a while because I'm from Pittsburgh.
Same here.
And being from Pittsburgh, it was always cold, snowy, dreary. So it was different. But this year, my entire street, I live in an HOA, but this year, my entire street, everybody on the street, and I guess it's because of 2020, people just want to feel festive, after such a crummy year. Everybody's house is lit up. And nice. My wife and I, we'll just go out at night and just stand on the street.
Yeah.
And just look at it and, and just kind of stand there and kind of have, small talk conversations. But I don't know. I think sometimes, I think when you have a bad year, I think it's these little things like Christmas lights mean more. You know, if you're having a really great year, sometimes you overlook the little things, but they mean so much. And this year, I don't know, I just feel extremely festive. Our house is very decorated inside and outside.
Right.
All the neighbors are. And, but it did take a while to kind of go back to your original question. It took a while because, if we got a bicycle for Christmas when I was a kid, you couldn't ride it for 4 months.
Yeah.
Here, we got our kids, when they were little, we got them radio controlled cars and bicycles and, and they could just go out and enjoy their day. And I think they liked that. They liked the fact that they could go outside on Christmas and it's 75 degrees out,
Absolutely loving it. Here in El Paso, same thing.
John, can I give you a compliment?
Yeah.
You are full of wisdom today, and I really enjoy it.
He really is.
Wow. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing all of this today.
That's my Christmas present to you.
Thank you, sir.
How about that?
One of my best presents this year was learning, having the opportunity to meet John.
Yes.
He's actually been a confidant for me too. And so not only is he 2 great shows full of wisdom, he's a great friend and listener. And I do appreciate that. And that's the best gift I could have ever gotten. So
you know what? I think that's how we should wrap up our show. Can I say what I'm grateful for this year?
Yes.
I'm grateful for an app called Discord. Have you ever heard of it?
Yes.
Okay. So I have reconnected with some friends such as Heather out there in the UK. I've really connected with a friend of mine named Lachlan, who lives in Grafton, Australia. I've made friends in Nebraska. I've made friends in South Africa. And just these random friendships, they really mean a lot when, again, you can't really get out. And meeting you four, I already knew Rob, so he doesn't count. But for inviting me on this show and letting me be a part of it, I'm very grateful for that. And thank you guys so much.
I do. Our friend, the other thing with you and Jace, me and Jace is, I know there was times where you're just having some really crappy days or things work, and every once in a while you get online and kind of like say this and this, and you allowed me that, and that's why I'm really grateful to contact you and talk. And,
I'm also grateful that you let me ruin your favorite song.
Yes, I do. Taking care of business will never be the same.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But I'm actually when I was able to feel like I was contributing to your scenario at the time to make it better, that made me feel really good too. I do appreciate our friendship. Jaylen, what are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for family and having a job. Ours is one of the industries that we're still part of the construction industry, so we're considered to be essential, and we are so busy. So I'm grateful for that. Lots of good customers and stuff like that, good people that I work with. And then my family and kids, they're the world to me. So I'm very thankful that Mom is still here with us and that I've been able to spend time with her this year. Not as much as I'd like to, but I still talk to her at least once a week. And then through all of this, it's brought Sherry and I a lot closer together, which has then brought Rob and I closer together as well. Yep. So, family is everything.
Yeah.
I was gonna, John, I do know you have a show, and then whenever you think you need to hop off, just go ahead. We understand.
Yeah.
Because his show comes on right after ours, and I've got to make sure that I close this show up so I don't interfere with his show on the television show on the Roku. So I am aware.
I will tell you this. I'll say this, and then I'll get going. I am to repeat what Rob said and what you guys have all been saying. My relationship, with Rob and meeting you guys and being part of a completely different world has just been an amazing ride. I got furloughed on April 1st because of the COVID. And that actually, I was furloughed for 4 months. That is the time that actually allowed me to get into the hobby of podcasting, something that I've wanted to do for a long time, but just never had the time or know how to do it. So, it's funny. You got to make lemonade, when life hands you lemons. And
exactly,
that's just kind of the way I look at life. And one last thing that I'm extremely grateful for, Ranger Rob pet poopy bags.
Yes.
They're lemon scented. They're eco-friendly.
A great Christmas gift.
They make a wonderful Christmas gift.
Always.
They smell great.
Right. And they smell great. They're Dodger blue if you're a Dodger fan.
Darn right.
You just can't go wrong.
And they got handles.
They do extra long handles,
Yes.
you can, from a Chihuahua to a great wolfhound, an Irish wolfhound.
We can handle it.
It can handle anything.
Bring us your crap. We can handle it.
That's right.
Yeah, just hang it from their tails. It'll drop right in.
Turn right.
Well, you guys have an awesome Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
Thank you, John.
Yeah.
Merry
And
Christmas
we'll
to
catch
you.
up.
Merry Christmas, John.
Merry
You too,
Christmas,
George.
Dawn.
You too, Jalen. Thank you guys so much, Jace, everybody. Until, I guess, next week.
Yep.
If we're going to do
We'll
a
go
show
ahead,
next week.
We'll go for next week, and then if we can't get everybody, then so be it. But everybody's been pretty enthusiastic, so I'll go ahead and keep the show schedule on.
Awesome.
But-
And everybody in the chat room, Merry Christmas to you guys as well.
All right. Thanks, John.
Take care.
I do want to remind everybody, Flynn did contact us. She got stuck at work, so she couldn't make it tonight. And, this is that time of year. I'm just grateful that we were able to get who we have here. So I think I have one quick thing before we go. How many people sent Christmas cards out this year?
We sent them out. We also got one of the coolest ones.
A couple.
I made it a point, guys. I tell you what, I made it a point.
Gotta go quick.
I was very motivated. I sent out 104 Christmas cards.
Wow.
Yeah, he did.
And if you didn't get yours already, it's probably in the mail.
We got a really cool one, if I could say real quick. My family normally goes on vacations throughout the year. They'll go to, on cruise or whatever and take a really nice professional photo. My aunt's in her dress, my uncle's in his tux, whatever. They look wonderful. This year, since they couldn't do that, they dressed their pit bull and their boxer up and put Christmas
Nice.
hats on them. I'm like, that is a great photo. That is the greatest Christmas card I got.
Yeah, we kind of participated in Christmas cards for Sherry's mother, but we didn't do our own personally, other than for our kids. But yeah, we didn't do Christmas cards. And Jalen, you said you like 2 of them.
It's family.
Yeah. So
Yours is in the
guys,
mail.
I'm going to wrap this up so I can make sure we don't we can't. There's a funny thing about the television things. We can't cross the streams. It sounds like Ghostbusters. When we cross the streams, we have problems. So I'm making a special effort to make sure we don't cross his stream. So John's a wonderful person. And by the way, guys, I hope you all have a great holiday, great Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And the best gift I think I've been given this year is your guys' friendship. So I appreciate it.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Same here. All you guys has just been grand.
Same to you.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry
Stay on
Christmas,
here.
everyone.
Stay on and I'll get through our process here. Hold on. Thank you very much for watching our video. Please take the time to like, subscribe, and share our videos all over the whole wide world. Thanks.